Streaming. Sweet. There we go.
And
We're on.
is it public this time?
It's not working. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Hello.
Where did you go? Are you safe? We are live.
Yeah.
So as you can probably tell, we are sailors first and vloggers a distant second.
YouTubers, live chat second. So yeah, that's my mistake. We just put a new program on for broadcasting and I didn't realise that the link was public when I clicked it to test it, so my mistake.
Oh well, we've got people from all over the world. They can hear fine, so
yeah.
Our microphone is working.
Yeah.
Alright, so what are we going to kick off? What was the big announcement, Pascal? Everyone thought that you were pregnant, or we got a pregnant dog, or we're getting another yacht or something like that.
Getting married. No, I was really excited because when we recorded the voiceovers, we just received these, our new free-range sailing t-shirts.
Can we see them?
So we've got merchandise available, so that was the big announcement and I was really excited about, yeah, having the free-range sailing tees. That's really distracting. I think I'm going to just...
People have been asking for it for so long, so...
Yeah.
Alright, so there are the t-shirts, they are available. We're taking orders for, what is it, 3 weeks?
3 weeks, so it's a campaign through Bonfire. You've got 3 weeks only to grab your t-shirt. We're selling them for $30 and yeah, you'll order your t-shirt and then it will get delivered to you once the campaign is over.
That's right, so 3 weeks ordering period and then they get delivered. Which is what, put it at the end of November?
End of November, yeah.
What are we
or just
in now?
before
October.
the end of November. Yeah, we're just about to, got one more week of October. Yeah. We will eventually get a merchandise store, but that's a long way away because where we're at the moment, it's just, yeah, go through the Bonfire campaign for the next year or so, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. We're still in the process of talking to the Bardu guys, you know, those artists up at the top of Australia.
Yeah.
But because we're dealing with artists, we want to make it fair. There's legal things and we want to protect their rights and have some sort of profit sharing with them. So it is something for the future, but at the moment we just thought we better get these t-shirts out because we were like getting a bit of pressure from it anyway.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Alright, so that's that. We're also, before we kick off, if some of you regular guys and girls, alright, you'd know that one of our mates, Rafi, probably one of our best friends now, from TI, his young boy, Makai,
yep,
is shaving his head for cancer research.
Yep.
Can you tell people a bit more about that, Pasky?
Oh, he's just grown his hair really long, like it's about my length, and I've actually put a link in the description, so if that's something that really moves you guys. Makai was in one of our videos when we went and visited the waterfalls on Prince of Wales Island, next to Thursday Island. So yeah, I've put a link there if you want to support him. It's a really awesome cause, so check it out. That's in the description.
It is, so the bonfire link's in the description, and so is
for
Makai.
the t-shirts.
My sunglasses, they are spotters and they are Arctics, and they're really great. But rather than just go a particular brand, what I always do with sunglasses is just make sure that when I put them on and I squint that there's no sun getting up around here. It's probably more important the shape rather than what I wear is what suits your face. Now we wanted to answer a question from one of our patrons and he said, what do you do when you first get ready to go out? I guess it's a little bit different for us just because we're constantly out and about. Putting food on the boat is a big deal, but a lot of time we already have it and we know we're going to be catching it on the way out. But I think the most important thing we do, because we've got friends and family, is we arrange to have if we're going far offshore or into the remote areas, we like to get our satellite communications sorted out. Yeah,
there's no phone, normally where we go there's no mobile range at all, so we've got to get ourselves our sat phone connected.
Yeah. So we use an Iridium Go.
Yeah.
I don't think it really suits what we do. It's not a bad product, but I can't really talk it up that much because we don't use it that well.
No.
And you know what? If we had met Rob Martin from ClientSAT, who we deal with now, he's just such an amazing guy. He really put our needs first. I wouldn't have bought this. I would have taken his advice and got something else. But now we do have it. So
we use it.
So we use it, and the plans change and evolve. And we've found that Rob has always come up with what suits us best rather than what suits him best. So we've also, because we've got quite a special relationship with him, we've put a link to him
His
as well.
email
Because
address, yeah.
if you want to sort yourself out and avoid the pitfalls that we had, just give Rob a try. You know, like send him an email, and you'll find that he's just a great guy to deal with. I can't say any more than that. That's what yachties normally do. You know, you hang out at the pub and you swap information about who's been looking after you and who's a bit of a drongo. But Rob's not a drongo, so give him a try. He's also in the description.
Yep, I put Rob in the description.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
We've got people like from look, Jeff Delgado. He took us out recently to go see the fireworks.
Hey neighbour.
We've got people from the next berth in the marina. We've got people from all over the states. Brizzy, everywhere. So
yeah, someone in Broome I saw. So yeah, actually I might give an update of what's happening with us at the moment, where we are, what we're doing. We're in Townsville at the moment. We've nearly finished a massive refit. So we've been refitting for 5 weeks?
6 or 7
6
years.
weeks. We're really ready to leave and go out sailing again. But yeah, we wanted to touch base with you guys before we left.
Yep.
We're in the marina at the moment, just doing some jobs that we didn't have to do out on the hard. We were out on the hard for 3 weeks. Do you want to give a rundown briefly of what we did on the hard, or not really?
Okay, so yeah, in the videos it'll come up, but we had a few osmosis blisters. Look, I know no boat's ever sunk from osmosis, but we wanted to repair it, and we did more painting and cosmetics stuff than what we would have normally wanted to do. And why did we do that? I pulled the engine out because we had a bunky injector, and I actually found that it was incredibly hard to get out, and I had to take out the pre-combustion chambers and all sorts of stuff and send the injectors away, and it took ages. It really did. So that was a real drag. So engines out, sorted out the injectors, put the head back on, like I pulled that engine apart. And then we repaired some blisters, we put it back in the water, and now we've been building hatches, painting cockpits, a new anchor winch. We've also come across a really great online chandler, Arnold's Boat Shop, and he's looked after us really, really well. So he's sent us up a control lever for our engine, a brand new anchor winch.
Yep.
So installed that, and that was a little bit of a process. Again, Arnold's he's another person. When you go sailing, you sort of lose out on having a community, really. Like you meet other yachties, but it's been nice to meet someone that we can bounce ideas off, and they can make suggestions back. And Arnold, he told us that this anchor winch, the Muir that we've got, it's Australian made, and that's almost enough to sell me just straight off the bat without knowing anything else about it.
Yeah.
So I buy Australian whenever I can.
Yeah, we like to support local business.
Yeah, and Arnold's Australian as well. So if you're Aussie and you want to deal with an Aussie of South African extraction, but he's an Australian, Arnold's Boat Shop, we put a link for him as well in the description, because he said that any of our viewers can have free shipping on anything they order within Australia. Like normally it's a $15 flat rate, which is a pretty good deal anyway, but he said he'll send it out to you for free. We've got a discount code there. I think it's Free Range 18 because it's 2018.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah. People are loving your music choices. Pascal's a accomplished DJ.
I'm trying to get it's jammed. This thing is...
What are you trying to get? What's working out?
The chat box is jammed. That's why I've been... Sorry if it looks like I haven't been present, but the chat box is jammed and I can't scroll back up to see what people have said, so... YouTube is so frustrating.
Don't worry. While Pascal wrestles with computer whatever, I didn't actually finish saying you know, before we go out, another really important thing to check is the rig. All right.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
get the food on board. Talk to Rob Martin, and then I'll normally go through and do a whole bunch of engine checks, and I normally go up the mast right to the top and check everything all the way down. You know, so that's make sure all our anchoring gears are good. Make sure there's no frayed things. How you going?
I'm good. I've got it back.
Someone asked, "What's that? What about your dinghy? Has a crocodile ever tried to bite it?" No. Does the fish you have inside the dinghy ever attract them towards you? Not when it's in there, but you know what? If you're up in crocodile water, they've got a good sense of smell. So do birds. All right, most reptiles they do. So cleaning your dinghy and bleaching it down, if you're in crocodile water, is quite an important thing, because if you go around stinking of rotten fish, other yachties won't like you, but crocodiles will. So there you go.
Are we heading south? Yes, we're heading south, but we just got to finish these last jobs. So we're planning to leave on Wednesday or Thursday. So.
Someone asked, are we planning on getting a bigger boat at some stage? Like we've still got a fair bit of Australia to do, but if we do go further afield, and when I say further afield, I mean really into remote places, then we'd probably need a larger boat, purely just to take like the cold weather articles that we'd need, safety equipment, stuff like that. So not vastly bigger, and certainly not vastly more expensive. We're still always going to be kind of budget sailors, comparatively speaking. So
yay for Andy staying awake. And hi Larry from Alaska. You made it back from grouse hunting. Awesome.
Yeah, that's really great. Gotta love those diesel problems. Yeah, there's not too many diesels. Like when they have problems, they are big problems. But yeah.
The t-shirts, Brandon, the t-shirts are on the bonfire link. They're in the description of the video right now. So you can head down below my head and click on it and have a look at the variety of colours and everything. If you're good at doing two things at one time, otherwise you can do it after the live chat.
Like we are.
Yeah.
Not only t-shirts, but there are hoodies there if you're in a cold part of the world. What is the best thing you like about being alone on your trips at sea? I guess we don't have to read some of the troll comments on the nude latitude.
And don't have to, I'm not distracted by my phone.
Yeah.
I'm always on my phone.
Yeah, I think the best thing about being alone on your trips at sea is being alone on our trips at sea.
Yeah, being alone.
Yeah,
no noise either, just peace.
No noise, and being able to jump overboard. Now, when you say alone at sea, being alone without crocodiles is also being much enjoyed. Just being able to just jump overboard into nice clear water, grab a fish for dinner, or just have a swim is really welcome. So.
Wind generator silence tests. Well, the wind generator's not on. That's why it's quiet, because we're in the marina. So.
But it's a lot quieter with those blades. I think some people are like, oh my god, it's incredibly noisy. Part of that was we spent 6 weeks in just about constant 30 knots.
Yeah.
So, right on the nose, So Arkansas River. What? No more Pascal pulling the anchor.
Yeah, sorry about that.
So where else? Now that you've got the comment section.
Okay.
Why not replace the Iridium Go with a Garmin Explorer Plus? Because we've already bought it. It exists. It works. Do stuff. And either we sell it and buy another product, which is just another thing manufactured and all the rest of it. Look, if something's still going, we'll normally work it until it's just completely dead. If you've looked on Facebook, you would have seen our most recently replaced lever control for our throttle. That thing was just, it looked like we pulled it out of a museum. Yeah. It was disintegrated, so that's why.
It's on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're not following us on Instagram and Facebook, we've put links in the description as well for that. Yeah. Yeah. So you get to kind of get little insights into our day-to-day life. Of what's going on if you follow us along on there. Because obviously, as you know, the videos are about 3 months behind.
They're about 3 months behind.
Yeah.
Someone was there, you had plans to leave Australian waters. Look, sooner or later.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of Australia left to do. And there's places in Australia that just no one sails around, and we want to do them. So we're going to, it'll be a couple of years more. All right.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be a couple of years. But after that, we definitely want to leave, like, and see more of the world. So
We don't want to leave, but
Not-
we want
not
to see
leave
part of the
the
world.
earth. Leave Australia.
Yeah, no, we want to. There's a few other places that we'd really like to see, and look, we're starting to get some fans all around the world, and we'd love to visit them.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really great.
Yeah.
So,
And we are planning on going on Tassie. KFA. Yes, we're going to go to Tassie. And there was another question.
well, Mr. Moore there said, have you ever thought you were going to sink? Not really. When I went down the West Australia coast without Pascal, and that was, sometimes you're out for 3 days. There's just nowhere on the WA coast to pull in an anchor. And at one stage it was 3 metre seas on a 3 metre swell, and I'd been awake for a couple of days because you sleep for 20 minutes and then you back up again. And at one stage I didn't think I was going to sink, but I was just like, how can I just keep going? So I thought that my mental state would sink. I feel very safe on Marul. I've been on much larger motorboats at sea in like gale conditions and felt less safe than I do actually on Marul in gale conditions. So no, I think I feel very safe on Marul. She's 1 inch thick, solid glass. she's a strong boat. You know, like, she's a tough thing. So there you go.
Would we leave Australia on Marul or a bigger boat? At the moment, we can't actually leave Australia in Marul because she's not an Australian registered vessel. She's just registered, state registered.
Yep.
So it would be a bit of a process to leave Australia in Marul. We'd have to do a bit of paperwork. I'm not sure. We'll cross that bridge when it comes.
We'll cross that ocean when it comes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does Marul have a meaning? Sounds Aboriginal. It does. Now, for the longest time, I was under the impression that Marul meant sweet water. But we've since found out that
we actually did a Google search.
it actually means clay to make pipes from.
Clay pipe. It's the pipe that they make clay from, and it's a small town in the central New South Wales. So that's a state of Australia.
They have a competition with it, kicking a footy over a silo.
Yeah,
So
and that's
we might have to go and we'll see if Pascal, with her Aussie rules background, can punt that footy straight over a silo somewhere.
Yeah. Do we listen to podcasts to pass the time? Where do you get your news? We used to listen to Pat Flynn, The Smart Passive Income.
Oh, I love the history of Rome, the history of
Rome,
Greece.
history of
I want to
Greece.
get hold of the history of Byzantine.
We're listening to the history of the Mongols.
Oh, that's right.
That was great.
As we were going through the Kimbleys and dodging our way through shallow
That's
rocks
right.
and mud banks, we were listening to the tale of Genghis Khan and his brothers. So
Yeah,
it was great.
that was really good. Oh, the podcast of Doom. We listened to the podcast of Doom.
That had its moments. We tried listening to the Pirate podcast, but no.
good.
It was just too much for us. And where do we get our news? Not from mainstream sources, I can guarantee you.
Yes.
We'll scour the net for news, but what'll happen is things will rise in our consciousness that might affect us, and we'll go and do our own research about that.
Exactly.
The mainstream media is coming under increasing
It's
fire,
kind of a joke.
and that's a good thing.
We watch it for amusement.
She's
For
a little
hilarity.
nicer than a clay pot. A clay pipe.
Clay
pipe
pipe.
for smoking tobacco, so yeah. Even better. What bongs? Oh,
Clay pipe.
You've been listening to that scanner too much, Alan.
Oh, did you miss the big news? Well, we got some t-shirts.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm sorry, I was really, really excited about them. So.
Do we get seasick sometimes?
Yeah, I sometimes get seasick, especially when I've been off the boat for like months at a time.
Can you do a boat tour soon? Yeah, we wanted to mix that up. We wanted to mix up boat tour with refit to show what was there, now what's
been
here,
done.
and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we have been deliberately putting that off because we wanted it out of the water so you can see the underwater profile as well.
Yes, exactly.
If that's
So that's going to come soon. We'll be working on that in the next couple of months, that tour of the boat video. We want to have it like comprehensive, like you said.
What do we do for entertainment? Pascal used to enjoy just thrashing me at Scrabble. We don't really play card games, but you know what? When we're out in the middle of nowhere, we want to be out there, so we don't need to be entertained. Like, because we don't go out with a freezer packed full of food, we have to go and get our own food. That keeps you pretty entertained. So
Did you see Rob Lansley's comment?
Yeah, I do trim my facial hair once or twice every year, and that's coming up as well. I'm going to show people the joys of a straight razor.
That's
all right.
That's
so
a video
I've been growing this for refit because it just protects me out in the harsh sun. But then you often see people just carrying on. Oh, we should do wonderful things for the planet and stuff like that. Well, a straight razor's a beauty. Gets rid of a lot of plastic and stuff like that. So get into it.
Oh, hi David. Yep, glad you got back from the pub in Ireland. 1 a.m. in the morning. How we met, that was actually, we told everyone in our very first live chat how we met. We met at Troy's sister's wedding.
Yes, we met at the wedding and Pascal had a lapse of judgment.
Multi-hulls, yay or nay? We like multi-hulls.
Yeah, it's not our thing.
We probably won't end up on one.
We've admired a lot of people's multi-hulls. We know that they go faster than us. There's lots more room, you can grow herbs. But it just, everything's a compromise, and from a point of view of safety and my conservative view of sailing, and I also had the thing, get the smallest boat that'll do what you need, not the largest one you can afford. So we aren't in a hurry to get a catamaran, even though we've seen some that we think are great, like David's catamaran is a work of art, and a real testament to that guy's skill and dedication. So.
Hi Horst, glad to see some people from Europe have stayed up to tune in.
We appreciate that. If you've got any questions about the t-shirts, just click that link and all will be revealed rather than us sort of trying to speak for it, because I'm not sure.
Hey James, good to see you commenting on here. Any meetings with fans in Queensland? Yes, we're having meetings with fans in Queensland. We had meetings in Cairns, we had meetings here in Townsville.
Yep.
Whenever we get to a major city, we'll organise a catch-up. And if you're in a...
Not even a major city, a town.
And if you follow us on Facebook and you send us a message and you're somewhere that isn't, you're remote, you like being remote like us, we might be able to tee up a catch-up if you can get to us. So yeah.
If you are looking for a catch-up, we have heard that people were expecting a slideshow and a bit of a presentation.
Not yet.
It's generally a beer at the yacht club and a bit of a chat and just get to meet you, rather than any sort of... There won't be any distance between us. It's sort of just a getting to know you, just like a bunch of yachties hanging around. So...
Thank you everyone that's gone and bought a shirt. That's cool. It's great to know.
Yeah, they were saying that you'd need a minimum of 5 shirts for the print run, so I think we've made our minimum. All right. And if your name is Rafi or David or Alan, and probably a few other people, you're not going to be able to buy a shirt.
Well, you might be able to, but
I wouldn't if I was you. All right.
Someone wanted to say that the t-shirts are American sizes. They give you the measurements on the bonfire site, so if you're concerned about sizes, you can go and see what the measurements are, like across the chest and everything. But they're really forgiving. Actually, I might just let you know that I'm wearing a blended one, so it's a blended cotton, and Troy's wearing 100% cotton, and the 100% cotton's a bit stiffer. I think the blended one's better for any ladies that want to buy a shirt, because you can just kind of like make it, it's sort of hugs your figure a bit better, whereas the cotton one's probably better for dudes because it's just, it's a bit looser, doesn't hug. It depends what you want, it depends what you like. The blended cotton is softer as well, so it's up to you.
Did you call me a dude because I got this beard?
Yeah.
Peace, man.
You're a dude.
What else? Let's scroll down there, Pascal. Are we heading back north or going south? We're going south. Okay, we're going to go check out the southern reefs of the Great Barrier Reef. And we're going to lurk around for the cyclone season where there's some creeks and stuff, and then we'll work our way further south. It'll take a while.
Your friend Cameron's message was...
What? Whatever. What did it make you look like a proper retard?
You're lucky that message got through, Cam. It was held for trolling.
Yeah, we're okay with that. At least I only look like a proper retard. Put pockets on the shirts. It's too late. It's not a thing.
More videos of pork crackle. Oh, well, we're not really on land that much to make pork crackle, and we don't have an oven, so it's sort of like...
I hope Annabelle forgives me for my bad language while I was drinking as well. What's that? Curious to know your academic training and how you developed your encyclopedic knowledge.
I think that's for you, Troy.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's encyclopedic, but you know what? Ever since my first present when I was a kid was David Attenborough's Life on Earth, and I was only a little kid, and then I asked for a microscope. So it's sort of been just ongoing from there. I'm a pretty voracious reader, maybe 2 hours a day, and yeah, I guess that's what it is. The rest of it I just make up and just be really convincing. So Pascal's more academically trained, so.
Dude, what would you expect from people sailing a bong?
Oh, yeah,
No,
clay
maybe-
pipe. We're going to have to just...
just deal with that one.
Maybe we'll just change the name to Bong. It'll be cheaper to print, and it'll be easier to spell on the radio. No seafood on the land. No seafood on the land.
No.
Buying it would just be... Whew.
Yeah, no.
The drone has been bought, much to like, oh, we just ummed and ahed about it, but we did get a little one.
We've got a little spark, so we're gonna start having snippets of drone footage in the next few weeks. You'll start seeing.
Yeah,
a few
expect
months.
it to be used pretty sparingly though. We don't want to go down that track of just like, oh, look
And now
at his
we flew
15
the
minutes of
drone.
drone footage. So that's
It's not really
not-
our thing. We're going to do a vlog on camera audio tech. Yes, we probably will do one soon. But there's some other videos that are more important.
Yeah, and look, look who just joined us.
Yeah, Mike. Mike from the Forge.
So while we're giving shout outs, well, we were giving shout outs, but if you want to see a wonderful Damascus steel knife, there it is. So Red Dragon Forge actually sent us a handmade knife, and it's
From Canada.
It's a wonderful, wonderful gift. I just sharpened it today, so it's back to just shaving arm hairs off. So Red Dragon Forge is another good thing. If you're on Instagram, check it out. That guy is just an absolute artist.
Yeah,
So-
he makes really beautiful things, and we're so lucky to have been sent that beautiful gift, so thank you.
And also,
And we also got something in the mail 2 days ago.
Carlos, if you sent us that, along with a whole bunch of bow fishing arrows, we got them and we're thrilled. We can't wait to go bow fishing.
That's another little announcement. We went and bought a recurve bow. Yes, a
Yes.
recurve bow.
A 45 pound, it's 28 inch draw, but Pascal should still be able to make it hurt.
So we're going to go bow fishing.
We'll get into it a bit more.
Yeah, you'll be able to join us and see our trials and tribs, and hopefully we're successful.
Yep. All the way to South Australia beyond. We've actually got dreams of seeing the west coast of Tassie
Yes.
because we believe it's beautiful.
We'd love to see
and
the west coast of Tassie.
I don't think any other sailing vlogs would they have ever gone there?
I'm not sure. I feel
Who
like
knows, we don't
someone
watch a
said
lot of
Catamaran Impey went to Tassie, but I don't know where they went.
Mm.
Yeah, but I'm really excited to eat the southern rock lobster again, because apparently they're everywhere in Tassie. So
That's We'll
we just
we'll
got to
see for
brave the
ourselves.
freezing cold water first.
Yeah, and all the stories of white pointers. So we'll see how we go. What percentage of the Australian coast have you sailed? Oh, I don't know. Half?
At least 50.
Yeah, 50%. We're getting around there.
So
Yeah.
are
last
you a
night,
Freemason? No.
14. No.
Do they have secret societies? Maybe.
If you could either have an electronic autopilot or a wind vane, which would you choose?
Wind vane.
Yeah, I'd probably go for a wind vane. Luckily, we don't have to choose.
Yeah.
In the Kimberley, see, everything, our choice of boat, our choice of dinghy, everything, all the choices we make are specific to what we're doing. So if you went to the Kimberleys, a wind vane would be ineffective. All right, lots and lots of calms and stuff like that. But that wind vane's going to be a lot more handy now that we're in the trade wind belt and we're heading south. It's the same thing. Marul is not necessarily my favourite choice of boat or anything in particular. A boat should be selected based on what you want to do with it. All right. This boat was bought on the it's narrow and it's small. It can fit in creeks when a cyclone looms. It's old and tough, so if we bounce a little bit going into rivers and exploring gunk holing and stuff like that, it's no big deal. We can't snap the keel off. It's cheap to fix. If I want to make a modification, she's so old that no one will notice that there is no gel coat. Okay, there's no problem matching colours or anything like that. So
Yeah.
she was bought as a cheap adventure boat first. I didn't want to impress anyone at the yacht club, and I doubt I ever will. Maybe with the
She's not a
videos, but not with the boat.
She's not really a go fast boat.
She's not a go fast boat. So just a lot of it. Don't bother asking us our opinion as sailors of various boats, because our opinion is, does it suit your purpose?
Yep.
All right.
Buy the boat for you that you need to do what you want to do.
Troy, you're going to put a ring on her hand? I'd take out all the incentive for good behaviour, wouldn't I? That should start it. That should start some trouble.
Air conditioning on the boat? No air conditioning.
Here, look. Here it is. This wonderful fan.
Got that. We have to keep that on at the moment because being in the marina is very hot, because normally Marul will point to the wind and we'll get good airflow all through the boat. And actually you don't need air conditioning when you're out on the water. The only time you really would need air conditioning on a yacht is when you're sitting in a marina like this and you've got no airflow.
Yeah, or if it's an aluminium boat that you've painted maroon or dark blue. That is the wrong thing to do. Charlie Odom, he's a new viewer. So
he asked for that.
There you go.
Keel, we talked about the...
Dave Tate, that was a very heartwarming comment that you just put on a video the other day, Dave. Sorry to hear about your accident, and I am glad that, you know, what we're passing on. I mean, in this case, it's just chaining a bit of rope.
Yeah.
But we're starting to come to the realisation that these small little tips are actually...
We're helping people.
Yeah, we're helping people. So those comments are very welcome. Thank you very much. How many amps do you generate on the average day? Another part of the refit is I've just put another 260 watt panels on, because when I was just a simple sailing man, and even when Pascal first joined me, we didn't have big laptops, camera gear and all the rest of it. So we'd be able to get away on 30 amp hours a day. All right, those days are over. So making free range sailing
is power hungry.
And that's a few people have got behind us. Well, quite a few people have sent us PayPal donations, and a few people have got behind us on Patreon. And it's the only thing. It's the only reason we're still in front of you now.
Yeah.
We couldn't. We'd be off at work right now because. Making these videos, you wouldn't believe it, because of, you know, you think, oh, they're just pointing the camera at each other while they're just out there sailing, but it's actually pretty expensive.
It's expensive, and it's taking our time too. So, which we love, because we love making them. Yeah,
we do, and we love the audience that it's brought to us.
It's fantastic. The community connection we've built with this is just like well beyond our wildest dreams. We didn't imagine it would be like this. Like, the connections we've had with you guys all around the world has been like absolutely amazing. So, and
the flesh and blood connections that we've had with the people we've met have been
and it's only
really
the beginning. Great. Like, we haven't even really we've only been in parts of Australia with people for 6 months or something. So yeah, it's really great.
Someone before, I noticed, they asked what we were doing before we got on the boat. So I guess you're wondering, you know, like what's our background, because we talk about a lot of different subjects. So I've been a commercial diver in the fishing industry, a skipper, an engineer. I've worked for a tree surgeon. I'm a rigger, rope access guy. Moved houses, worked with Aboriginals, done a lot of different stuff. Pascal? Oh, and I've sailed a few boats.
Well, everybody probably knows now that I was a lawyer before we...
Oh, the dirty secret.
And then I've been working on online businesses and researching and things like that. And I was also gardening before we left and doing odd jobs. I started an online business I helped start an online business with a friend called SnapLens. That's in the links in all our videos. They're lenses that clip over your mobile phone. So that's just running in the background. So that's it. I just was reading comments while Troy was chatting, so...
What comments?
What's one thing... Name one thing each of you must have on board before heading out to sea.
A knife.
Troy's a knife.
No, we need our fishing gear.
Yeah. What do I need to have on board?
Everyone's like, oh, it better be a life raft
or
some other safety thing. You can't go to sea with just one thing on board.
Yeah.
But
you must have, though, on board. I guess in addition to all the stuff you've already got. I don't know.
What would be the one thing that you would leave a sinking boat with? I think that EPIRB would be pretty high on the list. So
the new video software, it's actually been great now, Jake. The DaVinci Resolve. It just took like 3 weeks of us in Cairns really knuckling down and learning it. So it actually wasn't that hard to learn. It's very similar to, from what I'm aware of, it's similar to Premiere Pro, but we never went down the Premiere Pro path because we just didn't want to be in the cloud, and we didn't want all the creative cloud gunk in on our operating system. So and we were on Final Cut before that, so it was pretty similar to Final Cut.
I would say that we could highly recommend checking out DaVinci Resolve if you want to make some nice home movies. It's
free and it's professional. Like, it's what professionals use to make movies. So
yeah.
Really check it out. It's really good.
Yeah.
DaVinci Resolve 15. That is.
First aid provisions. We've got loads and loads of bandage.
Oh no, actually, it's on top of fishing gear.
Yeah, no, I don't want to dig it out, but we've got about 3 first aid boxes. Most of it revolves around sorting out lacerations because of dealing with fish and stuff like that. But Pascal's family's of a medical background, so there's plenty of drugs for everything.
Yeah. And Dr. Andrew sorted us out as well in First Aid Island.
We've been mixing with the upper echelon of society, so they've sort of buffed us out with a bunch of gear. So we've got a lot. It's a lot of it is. Has your skin been opened up? Does it need to be closed again?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Suture kits and all that sort of thing, cleaning and a little bit of anaesthetic stuff as well.
Yeah.
Future projects. Just going out sailing and making videos because we've been refitting for 6 weeks.
Oh man, my future project is jumping over the side, doing some free diving, eating some fresh fish and getting some squid. So, there you go.
Will we be visiting Makai? We'll definitely be dropping into Makai.
Yes.
I have a friend in Makai, so we'd love to meet you as well, David.
Yep. I'm glad we inspire you all. That's what we want to do, so that's really great.
Would we like to wear headgear with a brand on it? Maybe, but.
Oh, are we ever going to come up with hats, sort of thing?
Yeah.
Is that the question?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we'd like to, but like I said earlier at the start of the chat, we are going to have to be in a city and organise for merchant. That's why we went with Bonfire for this campaign, for this 3-week campaign. We're going to have to, put our heads down next year and work on merchandise properly and drop shipping and all that sort of thing. But because of where we are and what we are, we can't carry our merchandise and send it to you. So it's something we're going to have to plan. So you're just going to have to wait probably a year before we'll actually have a proper store. That's why we've launched this range now, so you can have a shirt for the next year until we've got a proper merchandise store set up.
Becoming clothing merchants isn't our first priority.
No.
It is sailing and adventuring.
Yeah.
We are working, well, when I say we're working, the bulk of the work is being done by one of our patrons, Edward, of setting up a website. And what we'd really like to do sometime in the future, rather than provide you with merchandise, is actually provide you guys with lots of free information and a place you can go to get it and search for it easily. And to further to that, what we also want to do is, some of our videos have how-to information in it. Well, just about all of them do. We'd like to actually snatch some of those how-tos up, because we try and give them a bit of a creative title, so we'll try and snatch that out of there and just make it just a how-to video, but just with a dry title, like how to change the impeller on your outboard, rather than stakes and spanners. And what that'll do, it's not just so we can have just effortless content on the thing. It's just, and we don't expect it to get many clicks, but if you're just like, oh gee, I really want to find this, because we often get messages, people saying, can you explain how this and that, and we have to go back.
Or like, can you tell us which video this was in or that was in? So if we put them as separate videos, in addition in a how-to playlist.
A playlist.
Yeah. So separate to the episodes, separate to our weekly vlogs, they'll just be how-to videos, and they will be rehashing content that you might have already seen before, and so you don't have to watch them, but they're just there as a resource for you guys.
That's right. It's not just some way of getting extra content.
Yeah.
And if you're a patron, it definitely won't, because patrons, you pledge per video, obviously, whether it's $1, whether it's more. None of those will attract any sort of pledge whatsoever. So.
Yeah. And cookbook, I'm working on a cookbook, but I'm one of those people that likes to try a recipe a lot of times, make sure it works. So you're just going to have to bear with me until it's been tried and tested. So
I'm
not just going to release it straight away. So.
Yeah.
yeah, I take my cooking pretty seriously.
Yeah. So what's the worst incident eating something you probably shouldn't have? I ate a big mackerel one day and got ciguatera poisoning, and yeah, now we still eat big mackerel, but we like to have a little sashimi taster first. Ciguatera is a type of poisoning that you can get from tropical fish. It goes up the food chain. Small fish eat little dinoflagellates, little small organisms. It concentrates, makes those toxic, and it goes up. Fish don't get affected by it, but humans definitely do. So I copped a good dose of ciguatera for about 2 weeks. So it was pretty ordinary.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thanks very much, Charlie. You're a legend. Colin Wright, I think I just answered that. Ciguatera up north. It's not very widespread because our reefs are in fairly good condition. I think you get ciguatera is more prevalent around damaged reefs, and certainly when I got ciguatera, I'd gone past Lizard Island just after a couple of cyclones had pretty much trashed the joint. So yeah,
I gotta block someone.
Yeah.
Hide user on this channel.
Yeah, get rid of them. It's just the digital residue of some people is just they're just such losers, aren't they? Just not even meeting the real person.
Any news about YouTube recommendations about your channel? Are you getting more subscribers? I think we're getting more subscribers. I'm not sure where they're coming from. I think a lot of people are coming through the viral video, pleasantly surprised, and then they watch everything, and then they become subscribers, which is great.
Yeah, we don't know whether videos get recommended to a broad audience, whether we play the game according to YouTube or whatever, but what we have noticed is a lot of people are sharing our stuff on Facebook and with their friends.
Yes.
You know, just like telling people about us.
Yes.
And so we're growing our audience organically. That's why you don't see just constant shots of Pascal in a bikini or something like that, is because the way we want to grow our audience is very organic, and we want genuine viewers who take an interest in us as people rather than furtively, you know, like down in their mum's basement alone with some Doritos watching the show.
Yes, we're going to be going down as far as the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about ciguatera. There is ciguatera up north.
Does the system have a sound system? It's not. It used to, but it drowned. So we got one of those UE booms, you know. So.
Yeah, we've just got like a portable speaker thing. We haven't really been around places with Aboriginal cave rock art. There was an island in the Flinders group with it, but we didn't film there because it's not really. It's actually like a tourist attraction there, so we were kind of like, it's all fenced off, and
yeah, it wouldn't have been the same.
It's not really the same as the Kimberleys where you've got to find it yourself. So we just skipped that.
That's because we're just Aboriginal art snobs now.
Yeah. Hey, you just bought a hoodie. Cheers, mate.
Ah, well done.
Do we both edit the vids? Yes, we do both edit the videos. I'd say I'm the primary editor, but Troy definitely gets in there and edits. He's really good at doing the underwater footage and colour correcting.
Yeah, some of the colour correcting every now and then. I take an interest in underwater footage. I just like fish. So
loves the fish.
I love everything to do with the water, including videos.
There will be lots of refit videos, so you'll be happy, Jim.
Yeah, there'll be a few. We'll try and keep them interesting. And the other thing is, some people will ask, oh, why didn't you include this in your video? Sometimes we won't because we're not very authoritative about it. And also sometimes other vloggers are totally covering it, so we won't go really in depth on stuff just to make footage, right? So.
Do you have any other favourite sailing video channels you'd follow and would recommend? I don't think we follow any strongly. I started watching the yacht teleport videos. That was pretty cool because they were in like a boat smaller than our boat with a junk rig, and they were sailing the Northwest Passage about 8 years ago or something. And they're an Australian couple as well. And it was like 8 or 10 years ago or something. I don't know, but that was really cool. That's yacht teleport. Yacht teleport, and that was cool.
I don't have a lot of time to sit down and watch videos, but I like the ethic of sailing Catalpa, that they're taking their kids out. Yeah. And what videos I have watched where they're involving them in their daily life, and they're setting those kids up to have such a great future. Yeah. So really awesome. I think the ethic that they're following is just really great. Yeah. What else?
Oh, Mike from Red Dragon Forge says he spliced his lines on the Porterboat base for ours and works great.
Yeah. So I mean, that splice, I didn't come up with it. Obviously, it's not my invention. It's just one that's just been around forever and a day. We did get one of our viewers, Franklin. He is a professional splicer as well as Coast Guard captain and all the rest of it. If you want to learn something, talk to someone that does it for a living. So he was recommending the the 3-strand splice, trying to fit it through the chain. I'm giving it a go. It was really tough to get in. It looks like it's crowded on the link, but I'm going to give it a go, and then I might change my tune. But I've used that long splice for a long time, and I've never seen a failure yet. And the one that we did in Cairns for that video, well, we went through some pretty tough stuff, didn't we, Pasky? And then we looked at it the other day, and there's not even a strand rubbed out.
It's just, still in like perfect nick.
Yeah, it's perfect.
So anyone that had doubts about it in theory, I mean, the proof is in the pudding, really.
Yeah.
It's still good.
Yeah, we don't mind being doubted. You know, you should doubt stuff that you haven't tried yourself.
Exactly. So. Do we make Aussie fish and chips? Well, we can't.
Feels like cheating.
Watching other channels.
Oh, what's happening with AQTV? We got it up and rolling, but we just couldn't get. We were doing other things. We weren't spending a lot of time in the dive places. Maybe it can be expanded out to just sailing footage and things like that.
Yeah, but now that I've started editing the footage of us leaving Cairns and going out diving, I think there's some content there that we can make a few AQTV videos from. So.
Yeah, AQTV won't be something that we can constantly update. And you know what, the last month or so, we've been refitting the boat as well as putting out a weekly video. We've just had our bums hanging out. It's just crazy. So, it's just time management. And I don't know if we started out as great time managers. Well, I'm not.
No, I've got to plan something to get it sorted. Yeah.
So
I got an idea in mind to get time management better sorted, because the videos normally take 20 to 30 hours. They take a long time, but we want them to be long because, as well, like we don't want them to be short little snippets of vlogs, because we want that really important information in there that you guys really value and appreciate. So
and finding the music takes time.
And at the same time, it's finding the music. You want the music to be nice, but also it's finding the sort of a way to make it also a narrative, like a story, so it's engaging. So it takes a bit of time to finesse that, you know. So.
Yeah, that's right. Electric motors for propulsion, I'm just not into it.
The electric motor thing.
Yeah, every now and then it comes up. It's not going to really happen. Our little Yanmar has been around since I think 1996. If I pulled it out, it would just go in the scrapyard. All the resources that went into making it would be wasted. No one's going to buy it. It uses 750 mils to get us 4 to 5 miles in 1 hour.
Isn't that amazing? Like a little bit more than a pint of fuel, and we get like 5 nautical miles when we're motor sailing.
Yeah, and so the fuel which we carry is 230 litres, so that's less than. It's about 210 kilograms. The engine's another 100 kilograms. If you weighed up all the batteries and stuff, and we still don't even know the effects of the disposal of lithium batteries.
Yeah, what happens when your lithium battery dies? Where does that go?
Yeah, are they reliable? There's a lot of questions, and I don't. Electric propulsion, all the stuff that goes into them, it's not made out of free-range panda fur. Okay, all of that stuff. None of it has zero environmental impact. So for our way of looking at things, and it's just our way of looking at things, I don't know that we could do any better than just keep on maintaining that 20-plus-year-old diesel engine, all right? Not putting it in landfill, and just occasionally using it. Like when I was last in the trade wind belt, my fuel bill was 60 litres of diesel for the year. Yeah. I can't justify pulling all that out and installing all new stuff and all that copper wire and everything else like that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's our take on it. But other people are welcome to make up their own minds.
Yeah, you just can't get the amps you need anyway to run it when you need to run it.
Yeah.
If you're in the Kimberley, for example, you can't do the Kimberley in an electric motor. Impossible.
No, we've got a 11 kilowatt diesel engine, and people are coming up and they're saying, oh well, you can maybe use a 5 kilowatt. It's the essential. You know, it's the same. I think there might be a kilowatt is a kilowatt is a kilowatt is work done. I think that might be just sort of picking and choosing with torque curves and things like that. But the amount of sunshine and wind we'd have to gather to get 11,000 watts per hour.
Oh.
Like what have we've got 160 watts of solar at the moment. Well, up to 320.
Because we just installed 2 160 watt solar panels this week.
So if you can divide 320 watts into 11,000 for every hour, then that's what we're trying to do. So
plus maybe a little bit from the wind generator, but
yeah, that's right.
Someone actually asked earlier, what are the essential books? And so like now that we're talking about electricity, there's the 12 volt Doctor book.
Yes, the 12 volt Doctor is a great book. Great
About
reference.
all that. If you're just like, this is blowing my mind electricity wise, then have a read of that, because I actually read that when I first got on the boat, and it really like straightened out a little bit how lead acid batteries work, and I got my head around a little bit around electron flow and all that sort of stuff. So it was a great book. And actually those books are always listed in each video that we put up. We put the essential reading list at the bottom of the video. So whoever asked that question, you could just hop to any of our old videos and have a look.
And Nigel. Because
there's Nigel Calder there as well. And there's another book too. Oh, the fishing, Cruiser's Essential Guide to Fishing. Yeah,
so I reckon those three, if you're new to cruising, if you went to the library and borrowed those books and read them, or you bought those books as a reference to have on board, which we do, we've got them, so it's what we do. You'd learn a lot. Nigel, you're in good hands with him. The 12 volt Doctor, that's a great book. So any description on any of our videos will have a link in the essential reading. And for that matter, if Pascal in particular goes to a lot of trouble with those descriptions to make sure that the Spotify list of all of our music that we use, we like to listen to, all of the music and links that you can follow to get the music that you hear in the videos, our essential reading, there's lots of stuff in the description. It's really information dense. So when you're watching a video, just give it a quick scroll. You might see something that you can use as well. You know, we often put external links to other stuff that we think you might find useful.
Thanks, G-Man, for the donation.
Definitely.
And something about Liam Neeson. Oh, does Troy look like Liam? I don't think he looked like Liam Neeson at all.
I've got a certain particular set of skills. What's this one? If you had an unlimited budget, what? Where's
that?
This question right here. What does it say?
Anchor times.
If you had an unlimited budget, yeah. You know what?
Electric, yeah.
If I was going to go electric, I'd go diesel electric, just like a train.
Like a hybrid thing.
I'd have a central. I'd find out with a designing marine engineer where is the best point in my engine to have all of the weight of a diesel generator, and then I would have a remote electric pod, particularly like that would go 360 for enhanced steering. And that generator would also run things like maybe a bow thruster, water maker, all of the stuff. So I would actually go diesel electric, just because I'm a total heretic. But that's how the commercial industry goes. And the commercial guys, if it works, they choose it. They go with it. So.
Well, that's how you got your how to troll best for mackerel, Spanish mackerel. You ask the commercial guides how they do it.
That's
replicated what they do.
Everything I do, if I want to find something out, I don't. There's great teachers out there, but there's no guarantee you're going to get a good one. But if you find someone who's successful commercially, they've gone through that Darwinian process, and you know what they're talking. You know, they feed their families doing that. They know it. It's a fail-safe way to learn something, is to get on the good side with a six-pack of beer or someone that does it for a living and ask them.
And that video is in the post too, because I know Ralph, one of our very solid contributors, he's asked about a fishing video, and he asked for it for a long time ago. So we're going to bring that to him soon.
Yeah.
And all of you, because I know more of you yachties want to catch more fish when you're out sailing. So we'll give you some tips and our full rundown of our trolling setup, I think.
Yep. Thanks for everyone that's writing in to say that they've supported us by going and grabbing hoodies and shirts.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thanks very much.
Have you thought about adding a kayak?
Yes.
Yes, we had a kayak actually, if you noticed, the first 5 episodes before we got to crocodile country. And then we
crocodile buffet.
removed the kayak.
We actually left it with a friend of ours, Pete. in Exmouth, so he can use it to tow his surfboard out to an offshore break.
Yeah.
Because he's an absolute legend. So
he's the one that has the microbrewery in Exmouth called Frothcraft.
yeah.
If you go to Exmouth, it's an awesome joint. So make sure you go, if you ever end up in Exmouth in Western Australia, make sure you check out Frothcraft. It's a great place.
Yeah, and we saw recent photos of Pete, and we can attest that his beer and food looks good,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
he
Because
looks happy.
he's putting a little bit of roll on there. He's looking good.
How do you keep your fuel polished?
Oh,
what a segue, Leo.
I've just put a electric fuel pump in, and we will be covering it in an upcoming episode. But suffice to say that I've got an electric pump that draws our fuel from the underfloor bunker, the 200 litres. It pulls it through a Raycore and then puts it up into a day tank. And then the day tank, it'll go down through another filter and into the engine. So when it runs through that filter, that will polish the top tank. But I can switch some valves around, and I can pull up from the bottom tank through the Raycore and then back, up through the Raycore to the day tank, from the day tank back to the day tank, and from the day tank down to the underfloor bunker. So just by switching a few valves, we can run that pump and polish the fuel. But wait for that episode, all right? Because it's going to come on.
What brand solar did we go with? I don't know. It was
Sunraiser was. I don't know where they're manufactured. I guess a lot of them are manufactured in China. It's very hard to escape from it. If they were manufactured in Australia, you can bet I'd get them, but I don't think they are. They were sold here out of Melbourne. They're a pretty good price. So Sunraiser 160 watt was what we went for. So
yes, it is red right returning in Australia. I know that one. Returning to sea.
Yeah, red right returning to sea.
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll have red on your starboard side,
returning home
as you're going out. Go hydrogen like the German U-boats. Yeah, maybe we'll go hunt shipping.
Oh, thank you, David, for the donation.
Yes, fishing knots. You know, I want to do an episode on sailing knots. I want to do an episode on fishing knots, because with sailing knots you only really need to learn 2 knots, and then with a few variations you'll know a lot of them. Okay, so I want to talk about that, a little bit about mechanical advantage on ropes without getting too boring and in depth about it. And yeah, we better do a few fishing knots. But you know what? There's about 3 fishing knots that you need to really use as a cruiser, not as a commercial fisherman, not as a sports fisherman, but if you're just out in a yachty, out on a yacht and you just want to have a good time, it's not many that you need to know. So yeah, we'll cover it.
I think that this skipped down, but
yeah,
I'll scale back up.
We're not going to burn ourselves out. We came close a few times, but we just pulled it back. Homemade yogurt, we do it all the time.
Yeah, okay. Knots are never boring. Where does Offwatch sleep on passage? We sleep in bed at the front in the forecastle. We do have quarter berths on the boat, but they store our dive gear. And when we left Perth and went into the Kimberley, they stored our food as well.
Yeah, our quarter berths are packed, so it'd be nice to be able to use them. If we did have another boat in the future, one of the things would be definitely good sea berths in the centre of the boat, where you can look up at the hatch whenever you wake up and see into the cockpit clearly to make sure that the other person's okay. On night watches, we get a bit of well-deserved criticism, I think, for our sort of not using harnesses a lot of the time during the day.
During the day.
During the day, because we're both up. And to be honest, Marul is so small, there's nowhere, you can't gain enough momentum to go through the lifelines. You can get around like a monkey pretty well.
Everything, like, you can just grab everything, yeah. Yeah,
this is not an easy boat to go overboard like some of the boats that I've been on. But at night time, Pascal's not allowed to leave the cockpit, alright, and she does have to be harnessed in and clipped to a hard point in the cockpit at all times.
And I normally have the PLB on as well.
And the PLB.
We have a little tiny one.
Yeah.
That we were taking that one with us. If you watch the Kimberley videos, we're taking that with us when we went on missions on land. Yeah. Because there's no one in the Kimberley, obviously. So if you break your ankle or your back or get bitten by a snake, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, you sure are.
Yeah, we had that with us. Just like if you fell in the ocean. without a P or B on.
Our
But
attitude
falling in the
to
ocean
the
is just like not something that ever is going to happen.
No, our attitude to the edge of the boat is the same as our attitude to the edge of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
Well, like, we know that it's a bad place to go over. But having said that, I have been thinking about maybe like make sure we film with safety gear involved, just because we're starting to actually influence the way people think, and I don't want people with less experience thinking that it's okay to get around. So.
And if you have a bigger boat as well, did you say the momentum thing?
Yeah, a bigger boat. You definitely want to strap in.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to come around to the point, like, you know, I don't want to set a bad example for people with less experience than myself. You know, we'll see how we go. Particularly as we get further south, we'll be in bigger oceans, and I will be wanting to clip on.
What's I think that there's pretty big shirt sizes, James. I think there's like XXXL. So you should be alright. There should be something for everyone there.
Do you ever just tie one on, booze? Is it safe on a boat, just the two of you? We run a dry ship.
Yeah, we don't really drink unless we've made like some beer or.
If we anchor up in a safe anchorage and we're visiting other yachties, we might have a drink, but we'd never drink underway. All of the problems I've seen on boats that are not equipment related are drink related.
Yeah.
So I'm just totally over getting boozed on a passage.
Would we consider taking crew? Probably not. We are going to have a couple, maybe two, but definitely one friend stay on the boat. But it's going to be really cozy. We've lived with this girl before, so we know it's going to be fine. But we wouldn't have people we didn't know very well. In fact, we wouldn't have them on the boat. It's just too small.
No, it's the reason why we're in a small boat, so we don't need crew.
Yeah. Who's the better chef cook, Pascal or Troy?
There's no question. Pascal kills
Troy is a really good cook though, but he doesn't really cook anymore.
No, I'm always covered in engine grease or fish blood or something like that. What's that? Any recommendations for deep sea swimming in deep seas? Look, because I'm a commercial diver and I've done a lot of aquarium fishing and I've interacted in very, very sharky waters. I'm uncomfortable swimming around on top in dirty water with no mask or snorkel on, no way of making eye contact. And just recently we had some bathers bitten by a tiger shark in Syd Harbour in the Whitsundays. I think it's a tiger shark, I don't know all the details. But that was in a place where there's boats always anchored, there would have been food being thrown in the water regularly, it's dirty water. Sharks will come up and nudge and bump and bite things if they can't see it, and particularly eye contact is a real big one. I've often been working underwater and just turned around and a shark's been really close, and as soon as we've made eye contact, poof, gone. And when you're looking at a tiger shark, it's hard to get them to come close. Like, if you want to get a good look at a shark, you actually have to look away, and so you don't have a choice if you're swimming around without a mask and snorkel. So I don't know, I might be a little bit paranoid and I don't want to upset any surfers out there or people that think sharks are beautiful and wonderful, but any dirty water in the tropics, I'm uncomfortable swimming on the surface. I'm much happier underwater. One of our viewers sent us a shark bands, which is one of those magnetic anti-shark devices. We haven't had a chance to try it yet. Just because when we're swimming and spearfishing with our mask and snorkel, we never have a problem with sharks. And if I was just swimming around on the top, I couldn't really tell if a shark was interested or not. What we want to do is set up like a bit of a feeding thing and then jump in with the shark bands and see if they go. See if it works.
If you want to send us some goodies, you might have to hold off because we're going to be leaving Townsville and we'll be MIA. Well, not totally MIA, but we won't have a fixed address for a while.
Yeah. Captain Mark Gray, if you're going to have a VHF, you're not going to direct the thing back. You can buy them now with AIS built in. It's so straightforward.
Yeah.
AIS transducers on a bigger boat with multiple crew is just the way forward. And you can do your own rescues. They set off alarms. Oh, that's
where you set off the alarm with the...
Well, you go over when they set off everything.
Set off,
so AIS on your VHF handheld is a good one. So we don't have it, but I understand
that's what
it's
we
a great...
want to invest in.
We'd like to invest in. We're not that flush at the moment. Man overboard equipment. any opinions? Yeah, getting people back on board. Our boat's relatively straightforward. Our freeboard is the same as our dinghy, but it's still going to be very, very hard for, say, Pascal to get me back on unconscious. Getting an unconscious person back on it's incredibly hard. We've done drills on other boats that I've worked on. It's really, really difficult. So the best man overboard equipment is stuff that stops you from going overboard. Yeah, prevention is way better than cure on all of those things. Having said that, using the main sheet to pluck someone out of the water is totally doable. We haven't been able to do drills because we've been mostly croc infested waters. So.
Yes, crocs are scary and concerning, but we are starting to sail away from the crocodiles now, which is exciting.
And they're not too bad.
We love them. They're cool.
They're not as dangerous as idiot drivers.
That's right. Exactly. So. Yeah. So, yeah, I think.
What's our dream boat for the future? Not sure yet. One that's tough. One that's got a moulded keel, not a bolt-on. No spade rudders. So the Pacific Sea Crafts, all that sort of things, they look great. We saw what was that thing that was selling for 50 grand, that 40 footer? The Valiant 40s, they look like a wonderful boat.
But they got the osmosis problems, so you'd have to pull it out. And
some of them.
Yeah.
The year's production. We don't know. We'll know when we see it.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'd buy a boat for a specific purpose. Okay, so if we wanted to go check out Alaska, it would be a lot different than if we were just going to be sailing around Thailand.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing as dangerous as idiot drivers. I can't think of a single thing that's as dangerous as some of the idiots out there. And that's the thing. Like you've got, the very principle of average intelligence means that half the people you meet are going to be of less than average intelligence, aren't they? And when they get behind the wheel, it's just a real problem. Any chance of children together? I guess we're both functioning. So there is a chance. Do you have a sextant on board? No. I'd like to have a sextant on board, but all of our navigation so far would have been coastal. Yeah, we're like most people now. GPS is so ubiquitous, so reliable. Every now and then I'll use a compass just to do some land shots to keep my hand in, and I'll use it to just determine if we're closing with a vessel or something like that. But if the compass is getting dust on it, I'd say the sextant would as well. But if we go and do some ocean travelling, I would definitely grab a sextant. Look, I know that you can use sextants to get heights and stuff like that of lighthouses and cliffs and all the rest of it. But I am a bit lazy, I guess.
What's an island packet, Isabel? I'm not sure. You've mentioned it twice. I'm not really sure what you mean.
They're a type of yacht. Island packet.
Oh, are they? Okay, so Troy knows. Sorry.
Jet skis are the worst.
Yeah, jet skis are pretty bad. What time is it here? It is 11 o'clock. In the morning.
Yeah.
How's the internet connection? Someone's just asked, has it been hard getting good internet? We had problems in Cairns and we were scared that would happen today, so we hooked up the phone with the best network in Australia.
Yeah. And also, I think we've been going for an hour. Last time we went for an hour 40 and we didn't notice the time was going away, so we'll
Sorry
just
for anyone that's
start
kind
wrapping
of joined us, because we started slow. Like we had 200 people for half an hour. And then all of a sudden everyone must have got their notifications and realised it might have also been because we had that false start an hour early. That people might have thought that we weren't coming back. Which is a bit of a fail on my behalf. I'm a bit devastated about that. But anyway, I hope that people came back or that they get to see it later.
Yeah.
Watch the video later.
Sorry if you got ripped off. If you
if you're watching now and you missed out, I'm really sorry about that. Are we looking at some of these things we've already mentioned in the questions because we had this slow start. So if you've asked a question, it could actually be already answered. And also things like favourite fish to eat, we've answered that in previous live chats. So I kind of skipped some questions that have already been answered. So you might have to go back and watch another live chat or, unfortunately, it's just already been answered.
Oh.
So you guys have been really great.
We love yous all.
And yeah, they're just once again the t-shirts are now out.
Yep. We have free range sailing t-shirts.
And they're on the back too.
On the back. So from the distance, people might think you're the sheriff coming to get them, but
there's also
a
hoodie available as well. We just didn't get that sent to us in time.
Yeah.
So yeah. Lots of love to you and your families wherever you are, and hope you're having an amazing weekend. And thank you very much to everybody in Europe that stayed up to watch us.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that.
We do.
It's really hard working with these time differences. Same with anyone in South Africa. If they manage to stay awake and watch us, that's amazing. But
yep.
Again, I'm real sorry if you missed out. And
yeah,
that's all we can.
Balancing the time is a balancing act. We can't do it for the whole world.
Yeah.
So.
And we've sort of got to hop, skip and dash to get to the markets to get a few fresh fruit and veg that haven't been in a fridge at the supermarket now, because today's the only day that there's a fresh fruit and veg market.
Yep.
That we can get stuff that stays out of the fridge ready for our trip out to sea. So we need to scoot over to the market now before it shuts at midday.
All right. So a final thank you to you all.
And thank you, Corey, for the donation. You're awesome.
People that have donated, people that donate on PayPal all the time, all you patrons.
Yeah,
everyone.
PayPal and patrons. You're the ones that are keeping us going. So we're so appreciative and so grateful. So
keeping
thank you.
afloat.
Yeah. Oh, doll. On that note.
All right, let's get out of here.
Say goodbye.
See ya.